Ladies and gentlemen, this episode of Iron Age Radio is brought to you by the Schram Cattle Company from right here in Manitoba, Cartwright, Manitoba to be exact. Our man Mark Schram's local strongman competitor is raising the best cows at the best farm to give you the very best beef. If you want to look like this guy right here, Levi Strong, the biggest, baddest mother to come out of Maryland in quite some time, you better be eating your red meat, you better be eating your beef. And the only place to get that is the Schram Cattle Co.
Nice.
There we go.
That was nice and normal. You were pretty shy about that one. Because usually he gets like really weird with it.
That was the most aggressive I've seen a Canadian be so far.
Yeah. Oh, don't tell the other competitors that. Oh, my goodness.
It's 27. You're right.
All right, here we are, episode 27 of Iron Age Radio. We are here in the Iron Age gym, my own personal paradise right here in Winnipeg, Manitoba. I am being joined by a very special guest today. He's traveled all the way from Maryland to be here at the Gimli Classic Magnus Qualifier, and not only did he show up, he goddamn won. My man, pro strongman, Levi Strong.
That's me.
Very appropriate name too, man. That was like, there's you know, if your name had been like Levi Bitch, I would have been like, that's not you. But Levi Strong, you definitely showed yourself to be that in Gimli.
Yeah, man. My initials are actually LBS also.
LBS.
So, for pounds.
That's so sick.
That's amazing. If there's somebody who was just like born to do this, at least in name, that's you. So congratulations, first of all.
Thanks.
Big victory in Gimli. Punching your ticket to the Magnus Classic in Iceland. One of the kind of like those next level, next step sort of shows for a lot of people. How you feeling? What are your thoughts on that?
That's been a goal of mine for like the last few years. One of my bucket list things to do in the sport is to lift the Hustful, and I would like to push on a record. So we'll see what happens.
I love that. Well, that's kind of a thing that people might not be aware of you, is that you are not only a pro strongman, you're also a pro Highland Games competitor.
That's correct.
And you're a stone specialist. So the Hoos fell right up your alley.
Right up my alley. Yeah, I really think I can put up some numbers on that. Definitely gonna have to have a replica made, but I think I can push on it.
Yeah, you think so?
Sure, yeah.
So when they do it, it's an interesting thing because you can kind of train it in your gym. You can think that you're sort of like preparing yourself for it as somebody who's been there and done it. It's like a super different experience when you're there. But luckily, you have a lot of experience with natural stones. You have a lot of experience. You were just in Norway competing.
The thing I'm most worried about is probably the weather.
Yeah, and that was a weird one for us too. Normally they like blowtorch the stone to like get it ready for everybody to whatever. And we were so tight for time when we were doing it. It was like, get the fuck on that stone and go.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a whirlwind when we did it. But I hope that when you get it, you get a chance to actually like really, like you said, give a push for the record, because I do believe it's something you can probably do. Like I said, you were just in Norway competing in, remind us, what exactly were you there for?
World Stone Lifting Championships.
Yes. How'd that go for you?
Got second.
Second place?
Yeah.
So we're a strongman focused podcast here, but we do have a Manitoba Heavy Games. If anybody's interested in that, look it up. Can you tell us a little bit about like what the difference is between, because you're also like, you're a pro in that sport too.
Yeah.
What does that mean to be a pro in the Highland Games?
So I don't necessarily compete in like the traditional Highland Games, like the caber toss and chief toss and stuff like that. I just do stone lifting, which is its own kind of separate entity.
Okay.
But it's just strictly stones, pressing, throwing, medleys, the whole go around.
How do you get involved? Like, how do you find that, like, as a sport?
I actually got invited to a regional contest by one of my good buddies in Florida, Brett Fain. And I went down there, just showed up, gas station ready, won that show. Turned around a few months later, went to the national championship over in Vista, California, ran by Francis Brebner. Gas station ready, won that one. And then rest is history.
And there you are in Norway, right?
Yeah.
So, how can you compare, like, because if you're not really preparing for Highland Games, it sounds like you're just good at it. Mm-hmm. But how can you compare the competition aspect of it then to a strongman competition? Is it really similar? Is it way different?
Oh, man. I would say the field, there's no weight classes or anything like that. So the field is just one open class. So you have everybody from all walks of life competing against each other. So you'll have pro strongmen competing against guys that work at Walmart.
Right.
But the biggest difference I feel like is the fans. The fans really show up and show out at the Highland Games. At least in the U.S. they do.
That's awesome.
So
I know that we have, like I said, we have the Highland Games here too, and the people who like it love it. It's like it's like a cultural thing for them too, right? If they're Scottish or whatever it might be. Because I tried it a couple years ago, and I got beaten by one of those Walmart employees you're talking about. A guy who like, he was really, really skilled, but it looked like he'd never seen the inside of a gym before. And I was like, man, I'm going to walk through this shit. And I did not, because it was super skill-based, super difficult.
Yeah.
Is that something that you see yourself pursuing? Are you doing more Highland Games stuff?
Not right now, but if it falls in my lap, I probably will.
Okay.
So,
I like it.
we'll see.
Tell us about the Norway competition that you did. What was your experience like there? Like, just first of all, just being in Norway, being overseas. That's probably the furthest you've ever gone for competition,
Yes,
I'm sure.
for sure. That was my first time going across the big lake. So, but it was different. The biggest cultural shock was probably not having air conditioner or ice. So
They don't have ice in Norway?
No, there was no ice. I think I had ice one time, and I was like, "Thank you."
I mean, ice is pretty easy to make. I would have thought they would have that in a cold ass place like Norway.
The country's beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful country. I expected a little bit more out of the comp. I just think that the venue should have been in a more populated area, especially if you're trying to grow the sport.
Right.
But overall, I think the competition has a lot of potential,
Yeah.
and I'm not opposed to doing it again. I just expected more out of it. So
That's interesting. So, you as a competitor, like, when you go to a strongman competition, do you see those kind of gaps that were happening with the Highland Games? Like, are they filled in strongman? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, in terms of like,
oof. So this show this past weekend in Gimli was probably the best crowd I've seen at a personal strongman show that I've done.
you heard it here first.
Other than that, oh man, they're all over the place. Strongman's just all over the place
I agree with that.
on every level.
We get really lucky here because I run some of the shows and Devin runs. Say he's the guy who ran Gimli there. I'm sure you met him that weekend. And he's just got a lot of experience and he really knows what he's doing and he's got a great crew and he takes it very, very seriously. And I think a lot of people in Manitoba would really benefit to going to other places where maybe that's not the case. Maybe the guys are newer. Maybe they're a little less experienced. Maybe they put a little bit less forethought into it than Devin does.
I will say that in Canada, the promoters take a lot more pride in the equipment and in the events. So the events are always awesome events. They're also awesome to do, awesome to watch. All the equipment is unique, specialty made. In the U.S., it's just like, I feel like a lot of times, even at high-level shows, it's just like, hey, come out here and lift this generic axle and do a log, you know?
Yeah, that's something that Devin takes very seriously too. Is that he had those like crazy farmers made. He like the Fingal's finger, like that's just been sitting like in his property forever, and finally it got some use, which I was really excited about because that's such a cool event that you just don't get to see very often. And like he has a Hercules hold and all this cool stuff that we get to pull out here in Manitoba that you can be competing in strongman for a long, long time and just never get your hands on. You know.
That's part of the reason I actually pursued stone lifting also, because I just get tired of doing all these strongman shows that were just the same events, boring events. And I was like, man, what could be different? I was like, stone lifting. Every stone is different. Sure. It's one of the oldest ways to test your strength throughout history. And there's stones over there that you can lift that only a few people have ever even picked up.
That's true. Know? Yeah, that's really cool, actually. Like there's a lot of historical manhood stones. The Husafo being one of them. And, if we're talking about, like, a show that's, like, custom-made, a strongman show that's, like, custom-made for a guy like you, it's the Magnus Classic, where, like, every second event is a natural stone something. Like, natural stone press, natural stone loading.
We'll see what we can do on the press, too.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And the even the farmers are just big stones with handles attached to them. Like, everything is stones in that one. So that'll be really interesting to see how that goes for you. Because you got a great grip, too. We saw that at Magnus. And so much of the natural stone stuff is just being able to grip the shit out of it and do it, right? Is this your first time competing in Canada?
It is. My first time competing in Canada.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So what's next? Like, we know you have Magnus coming up. Are you the kind of guy where you're going to lay low until that one? Do you compete again until that one?
I'm going to lay low until the Magnus. Yeah.
Would you say this is like... So you said this is kind of a bucket list show for you. Do you see this as like a stepping stone to something else afterwards?
Potentially. I would like to do well at this show. I'd really like to be competing on the next level. Mm-hmm. Ultimately, whenever I started the sport, Worlds was the goal. So I think that's still the goal.
I love it.
So,
and you're a guy too where, like, I don't know if people can see it behind us here, but your wife came with you, your kids came with you. So you're not exactly a guy where this can be like your sole focus, right? But you make it work, which I think is really impressive.
It's not my identity at all.
Yeah,
so I have a whole job and life outside of this.
Yeah.
And,
So we got a little bit into your Highland Games stuff, but how did you was Highland Games or Strongman first?
Strongman.
Strongman was 1st. Mm-hmm. So how'd you get into that one?
Oh man, so I'm a lineman, by the way. I build power lines, and a guy started on my crew that was a bodybuilder. So I started bodybuilding for about 6 months, and
I would love to see you on stage.
Oh man, I was like 285, like well under 10%.
285?
Yeah.
Because you're like 385 right now, aren't you?
I'm 355 right now.
He's skinny right now.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm lean right now. Lean 355.
Yeah, very lean, mean 355.
Yeah. At 300, I'm lean.
What's the heaviest you're at?
Heaviest I've been is 395.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
We went to the beach yesterday, and he looked like he was going to eat us.
Were you like 395 pounds of strength, or were you like kind of getting fat at that?
I was 395 healthy. I was a good 395 going into America's Strongest Man last year, and then a hurricane hit, and I went and worked it and lost 20 pounds right before America's, and that didn't go so well. But yeah, back to your question. I body built for a little while, and then it just wasn't for me.
Did you ever consider competing in bodybuilding?
I considered it, and then I was like, man, I'm pretty strong because my lifts were going through the roof. My first deadlift max was like 450 pounds. Within like 2 months, I was deadlifting like 650 pounds, beltless.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe I should look into powerlifting. So I started looking into stuff like that, and Eddie Hall had just came out with a documentary.
Right.
So I watched it, and I was like, wow, I'm going to try this shit out. So I looked it up, went and did a contest, did well. And then I got second in novice division to a really strong guy.
Right.
And then after that, I started doing open shows and won like my next 6 shows open. And I was like, man, maybe I could go pro. So I hired a coach, went pro, and then the rest is history. So.
Who's your coach?
My coach at the time?
Oh, well, no, fuck that guy. We're both coached by Alec.
Yeah, Alec. RP11.
Yeah, shout out to Alec.
I like how you asked him if he was going to lay low until Magnus, and I was like, what do you think he's going to say? What do you think Alec is going to say?
Alec's like, bro, don't do any
like,
shows.
Shut the fuck up.
Fuck those Canadians.
He'll be like, you put your head down and you shut the fuck up.
Because you're, speaking of fuck those Canadians, you're the first non-Western Canadian to win the Magnus Classic.
Yeah, has there ever been a back-to-back yet?
No, not yet. Hey, maybe that's coming.
2026.
Yeah. It was really interesting to see because it didn't really dawn on me until afterwards that it was the first time that had happened. So next year, I think some of the old winners have to come back and see if we can give you a little bit of a run for your money there.
Yeah, maybe I'll train for it this time.
Well, the Magnus Classic is really cool because it's always if you aren't used to it. It's like the way that it was kind of done this time where you got the events like pretty close to it, the weight's even closer, the final details probably like a few days before. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like that every year. And some people don't deal well with that. That's tough luck. But the guys who do deal well with that are the guys who do well in the competition, right? Mm-hmm. The guys who can handle last minute information, the guy who can handle changes on the fly, the guys who are adaptable. And realistically, it's like in a very weird time of the year. It's like right in the beginning of August when you've almost certainly had competitions before. You've almost certainly got competitions coming up afterwards. Like I know Americans say like America's Strongest Man is coming up very soon if you were doing that one. And then, North America's Strongest Man just happened for some guys too. And if you can be ready for that show, gas station ready as it were, those guys do well in those shows.
Yeah, for sure.
And that was clearly what happened for you there too.
Yeah.
Because if you said you didn't train for those events, a lot of them were really specific events. We're talking fingers. We're talking the arm over arm, all that shit. So just to be ready is more important than getting ready, I guess.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people forget in Strongman that I feel like people overtrain events in Strongman instead of just being strong.
Sure.
That's the first step is just being strong.
Yeah. I think that's true too. I think that and it's one of those things where it's if everybody is kind of going in half blind to the competition, I don't have a problem with that. Like I don't really care. It's like, if I'm like, I don't have all the information, and we might be kind of I might have a little bit of like trauma from competing on JF's competition so much, but that's just the way it is for that too.
Yeah.
Where you find out a lot of the information like when you get there.
Yeah.
And the JF also has a phrase that the strongest man will win. He says that all the time, and damned if it isn't true. You know, and that's what happened this weekend. Because some of those events you've never done before. You're telling me that you've never done.
Yeah, I've never done fingers. I haven't touched a dumbbell in like 2.5 years.
Oh right, the circus dumbbell. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Was there anything in that competition that was like kind of caught you off guard, or maybe you felt like you could have done better on? Or
when I picked and tried to walk with the farmers, so whenever I was warming up, I just picked them up and I didn't try to walk with them at all. And everybody was like, "Oh man, these are the hardest farmers ever," and I was like, these guys are just pussies, you know? I was like, I'm about to smoke this. I was like, let me get through that yoke. I'm going to smoke these farmers. As soon as I picked them and went to take a step, I was like, oh, these things are different.
Let's get into that a little bit, because I think that a lot of people, they see that video, they see the stream of it, and it's like 310 pounds per hand. Not super heavy. Like at the level that you're at, like that's something that's very doable for you. Yeah. So what do you feel when you pick up those farmers? What's different about them?
They're just so wide, and you can't get them off of your legs unless you just have insane lat and shoulder power to hold them off of your body and just run. Or if you're very
fat like Larson, that helps too.
Hey, shout out to Larson.
Sorry, please continue.
But yeah, what helped me, those farmers actually saved me on that event though, because if they would have been a different style farmers, a lot more guys would have finished faster than me.
Sure.
But I'm just a gutting athlete as far as like I'm willing to suffer for points.
Yeah.
And I knew I had to get a certain distance in the field to get those points I needed. And so I just held on, and it looked painful. It was painful.
It was, because I was watching it and I was like, I couldn't believe how difficult it was to move with it, but your grip was just not giving. I was like, this motherfucker's got a grip. Because I was watching it with somebody in the back, and I was like, this is crazy. Because they were just like knocking against your legs or knocking against each other, but at no point did I see your hand starting to open, or did I see I'm like, oh, it's
my grip was fine.
Yeah, it was pretty rock solid.
I saw on my story, a few people were tagging me in stories and stuff about the competition. They're like, oh, we hate that it went back to count back and stuff like that. Wish there was a tiebreaker. And I'm like, man, I wish it was a grip event. I would love to be the Canadian on a grip event.
See, that's I know that's become like this thing about Canada is that we all got grips. I don't got no grips, so I got no dog in that fight. I would love if we stopped talking about the Canadian grip. That would be fucking great.
And North Americans, just before he went to go for arm over arm, Mike Saunders on the mic goes, well, Tyler's got a good grip. He's
Tyler,
really good at this.
You got a good grip, buddy. And I looked at him. I was like, who the fuck are you talking about right now? Like,
and he's looking down, just shaking his head.
Yeah. Alec looks at me like, I don't know. Like, whatever. Yeah, the grip was pretty crazy to see. And you said you hurt your neck on that one, too, eh?
I did. I don't know if it was my neck or my trap, but I definitely had it was painful. And I actually came backstage, and I was like, man, I might just drop out. But then I was looking at the points, and I was like, you know what? I think I can just hold on to podium. So at that point in the contest, after event 4, I was just trying to hold on to podium.
Yeah. And you had all that was left on that one was the Fingal's finger and the natural stone loading, which obviously you felt like that was probably a banker for you.
I didn't even know if I was going to be able to flip the finger.
Yeah.
So whenever I went out there to flip it, I flipped the first one slowly, and then I was like, oh, yeah, I'll be fine doing this. Mm-hmm. And just smoked the rest of them, and it put me second on that event and made up some points. And then I was like, wow, this is within reach.
Yeah.
So just went all in on the stones.
And as you did what you do with stones, which was crush them. So
can I just say something? Because I had the score sheet up on my phone, and I said to Levi, I think you won. And then he goes, I don't think you're right, but
I didn't believe
I'm okay
you.
with winning.
I didn't believe you.
Well, and here's the thing, too, is that what people don't actually know is that for the Magnus show, it's like Magnus's rule is that it's actually not count back. It's whoever wins the last event.
Yeah.
And I think that you won on count back and the last event. But a few people had said that, like, oh, count back sucks, which I don't agree with. The count back is the better way to do it personally. But either way, you would take that. So.
Yeah.
But it just made me laugh. He was like, I don't think you're right, but I'm okay with winning.
Yeah.
That's right.
If you say I won, then I'm absolutely all right.
Well, and then if you really hate count back that much, then you should bring it up to the promoter before the show starts.
They have to announce it before the show.
Right.
Yeah.
Unless it's specified, it's going to be count back every single time.
Well, and we know that Magnus is like an old. I mean, surprise, surprise, Magnus is an old school guy.
The old guy is old school.
Yeah, and that used to be a deciding event, or a way that a lot of them were decided back in the day, was just who won the last event. Mm-hmm. And like I said, like that's not the way that I would personally do my shows. But hey, man, like I'm also not Magnus for Magnuson, so I'm not about to tell him how to do his shows.
Yeah.
So. Did you get a chance to talk to Magnus at all the show?
Just a little bit about rules and stuff like that. He was a super understanding guy, and he definitely thought about the stuff I was asking him.
Yeah.
So
I've gotten to know him a little bit just because he's been here so many times. But I also found that like the time in Iceland was when he's at home, he's comfortable. That's kind of like when I got to know him probably the best. And he's a super cool guy, super nice guy, and it's I'm looking forward to you having that experience out there in Iceland.
Yeah, I'm
it's
looking forward to
fun.
it.
Are you bringing the whole family with you?
I'll probably leave the kids.
Yeah,
So.
I'll watch them.
I don't think they'll do that well in the cold. So
it's like a really. It's a mom and dad kind of trip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everything is really like it's all kind of natural beauty stuff, and it's like I don't know, everything's like romantic and nice and cool and
yeah,
shit.
and I think the kids are just gonna have a hard time with how cold it is.
Yeah.
It's gonna be really, really cold.
Gian had a hard time with how cold it was too.
I was wearing 3 pairs of pants the whole time, and I couldn't turn my head because I was stuffed.
That was the experience when we were there the first day, was that it was so cold that all like the cameras kept dying.
Oh really?
So that's when
wild.
they have to like stop and recharge it, and that's why we got so behind with like the daylight and everything. Because one thing that I didn't know when I got to Iceland is that there's about 6 hours of daylight in winter.
During that time of the year, yeah.
Yeah.
So the
That's
sun
wild.
starts to set at 3:30 p.m.
Yeah, so you're like
So bring a headlamp.
you got it. It's,
Yeah, they
don't
gave
know.
us headlamps one
Did
night.
they?
I
Yeah,
don't know how they get anything done, bro. It's like you wake up at 9 a.m. and it feels like it's like 5 a.m. You know, it feels like
Yeah.
it's still dark outside. It feels like you've beat the rooster getting up, and then it's like 4 o'clock and it's pitch black, and you're like, well, I guess I'll start winding down for the night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a really, really surreal feeling.
Norway in the summertime is the exact opposite. For
Oh,
that
yeah,
show,
okay.
I wasn't going to bed till like 2 a.m. It was like, all right, it's just now kind of getting dark. I'll go try to lay down.
That's
it's like 2
wild.
a.m.
Yeah,
I would love that.
see, that would be cool if you were there like vacationing and just hanging out and
Yeah.
stuff. But when you're
Yeah.
there trying to like perform as an athlete, I imagine that
Yeah.
probably sucks. Did you and Becca go to? Did she go to Norway too?
Yeah, she did.
She did. Oh, nice,
Yeah.
awesome. Are you guys gonna stick around in Iceland for a little while after, make a little trip out of it, or?
Probably
Yeah.
for a few days.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
we like to do that.
Yeah. When we got there, a volcano was going off, so I hope that you guys have that same experience because that was
That'd be
pretty
cool.
fucking cool.
Yeah.
You could see it
We
from the
flew
airplane.
in, and you could watch the volcano
that is cool.
eruption.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
awesome. What do we have for time, did you?
We're at 22 minutes.
Okay, awesome. So now that you've got the Magnus coming up for you, what does like a preparation for a show look like for you? Like what do you do differently? Because you're also a working class guy. You work you're as an electrician. You got 2 kids. What does how
I'm
much
a
of a-
lineman, not an electrician.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, but my dad would say the exact same. My dad would say the exact same thing to me. My
Not
dad
that
was,
you word.
my dad was in the same union as Levi here. So, what does a prep look like for a guy like you? Like, how many days are you able to dedicate to the gym? How much time are you able to dedicate to the gym?
So I try to go at least 4 days a week, whatever Alec programs for me. Right now, my childcare situation at the gym isn't the greatest. So it's like an hour and a half of childcare. So I go in there, I put my headphones in, I don't talk to anybody, I just grind. If I don't get it done at the gym, I'll bring equipment home or have equipment at home. I'll go outside and lift it home or do it beforehand. And then I will take storm calls and work storms, inclement weather and stuff. But once it gets probably about 8 weeks out, I'll lay off of work and just train.
Okay, so you're able to put a little more focus on the training. Do you go to like a strongman gym?
No, right now I'm just going to a commercial gym.
I was gonna say I don't know many strongman gyms that I've
And I
tried.
train alone, so
Do you? Yeah.
yeah.
So how do you get your strongman stuff done, or do you just put a focus more on just general strength?
So I'm currently moving from the New Orleans area to Maryland.
Oh, okay.
And at home, in New Orleans, I had about a 2,000 square foot barn that I just dedicated to just strongman equipment. It was basically an at-home gym. And I have about half of it with me right now. So I have it in an enclosed trailer. So if I need it, I just drag it out of the trailer and
okay.
do what I need to do.
So when you're doing your training at the gym, you're just doing general strength training kind of stuff.
Basically,
for the
I did
most
bring a
part.
few bars in.
Okay.
So I have like a log at the gym now. I have my deadlift bar, safety bar, power bar, stuff like that.
Right.
But
What kind of log do you have?
a Rogue.
A Rogue one? Oh, nice. Look at this guy, big spender over here.
Yeah, this guy's rich.
I like it. So that's okay. So that's actually kind of interesting to hear that you're just training at like a regular gym like that. How do you balance having 2 kids with your strongman stuff? Because that's got to be the most difficult thing of all. I would
It
think.
is definitely the most difficult thing of all.
Because they're what, 2 and 4? Is that
2
right?
and 4, yeah. Even doing training, even like doing my stone training, I'll like press a stone and then I have to like wait for them to get out from under me before I can drop them on the crash mat, you know? That, sleepless nights.
Yeah.
I've done competitions where I didn't sleep 1 second the night before, so that's always rough. But it does help me for those situations like in Norway whenever no one sleeps. I'm I'm used to this, guys.
This is no problem for me.
Like, I always feel weird, so this is fine.
Actually, whenever I see other strongmen like post, I just had a baby, I'm like, good luck, dog.
Well, we've had an influx of that suddenly, where there's like 2 or 3 strongmen on the Canadian
In the West,
scene.
yeah.
That are just all of a sudden popping out these babies.
Well, their wives are.
Well, they look like they're both about to pop out babies, but their wives do it though. And I'm sitting here rubbing my hands like, look at me getting my full 8 hours of sleep, no problem.
That's why I make sure to wake you up in the middle of the night. What was it? You couldn't sleep, and I couldn't sleep, and I go, "Hey, did you book your Uber for tomorrow?" And then you got so mad at me.
For before, I'm getting ready
before North Americans.
I'm getting ready to leave for North America. I'm trying to get like a few hours of sleep. I have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. And at 2 o'clock, she wakes me up. She's like, "Did you book your Uber?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "God." So now I'm just up now. You know what I mean? And I was like, "I guess I'm done sleeping now. Thanks a lot, Jan. Appreciate it." But yeah. So
I was nervous.
Yeah. So I'm curious too. So just having been, I just did North Americans myself, and I met a bunch of the really cool American guys that were there, the Tim Bucks and the Dan McGuires and Bryce Johnson and all those guys. Mm-hmm. How would you compare your experience of competing in Canada to competing on the American scene? Like say like an ASM or something like that.
I feel like the American competitions are heavier, but I feel like the promoters in Canada do a better job.
What do you elaborate on that a little bit? I'm curious to know what you mean by that.
Oh man, I feel like the promoters in Canada I just felt like we were treated better as athletes yesterday. They were a lot more lenient on like who we had in the back with us, because we know we're just bringing our family back there basically to help us or whatever, or our kids or whatever. They had drinks for us, which is small, but it goes a long way.
Those little things matter, though, right? Yeah.
Chairs, some shade, a bathroom.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, that porta potty situation could be.
I wouldn't call that a bathroom.
I think that I don't think that a private porta potty for the athletes should be out of the question.
I mean, ASM, we don't have a porta potty. You have to walk all the way across the convention center to go use the bathroom. Yeah.
So you did ASM last year, yeah? How was that experience for you?
I really would have liked to finish my prep for ASM last year, because I ended up working those Hurricanes, lost 20 pounds right before it. I really thought I could have pushed podium last year, ended up getting last place, but I guess that happens to everybody. So
someone's got to do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that something you see again for yourself in the future, an ASM run?
Oh, it just depends on how things go with the Magnus.
Right, yeah. When is ASM?
ASM's I think it's October this year. I think it's like second week of October.
Oh, okay.
October 10th and 11th, I think.
So it'll be pretty close to Magnus then. Yeah. So yeah. Because that's an interesting one too, where we have like Canada's Strongest Man here and America's Strongest Man. They seem to be like two very, very different shows, I think. Where one's like you said, like in the convention center, it's like part of the Olympia, like it's a very high production kind of thing. And then I think the Canada's Strongest Man could be described as like maybe a little grittier. It's like outdoor parking lot festival kind of thing.
Yeah, ASM's heavier though.
Well,
JF listens to this show.
What's that?
JF listens to this show. You guys better watch
That's
what
why
you're
the
saying.
Canadians can compete every week, though, dude. I'm telling
What
you.
the fuck?
I can tell you
JF,
right now,
I'm very sorry.
JF
He doesn't mean it. He's very sorry.
If JF is listening to this right now, the CSM guys are fucked because they are about to get their numbers lifted.
You know what? Maybe next year North Americans will be 75% Canadians and 25% Americans.
Yeah. Or you let the Americans come and run it again.
God damn this motherfucker. Okay, hold on. What was the deadlift for ASM last year?
We did a medley. It went
fucking medley, okay.
It went 700, 750, 800, 850 roughly.
Oh. Well, ours went up to 900 our deadlift, but I guess theirs is a little heavier.
We did 900.
Yeah.
Fred.
Oh, never mind.
Jeffers did too, but I didn't
Jeffers
want to say
did
that.
too, yeah.
But ASM I remember we did watch that one, and I remember the commentator saying that, or maybe somebody that I was watching with, I forget, that this Levi Strong guy is really good at not showing what he could do at that competition, and now we have a little bit of a backstory too. It kind of makes sense all of a sudden. So with the Magnus coming up, what's we kind of have an idea, like you see sort of similar events at the Magnus. They're not always the same, but we've kind of seen like a rotating 10 or 12 events, we'll call it, let's say, over the 3 days. is there anything that you've seen in the past that you're like, I gotta, besides Who's Fell, that I gotta do that one? This is one that I can really crush.
Like good events or bad
It's just
events?
what you want to do, I guess. You know what I mean? Maybe not necessarily be like, I'm amazing at this, but I want to give it a shot or whatever.
Yeah, I actually have never touched a wood log.
Oh, really?
So yeah, so I really would like to see how that goes.
Yeah.
But it's also one of my big holes.
Right.
So
yeah, that'll be a tough one. That's if it's the same as when I did it. That was at the end, like it was maybe it was the last event. It was the last event of the third day.
Oh,
So,
it was the very last event of the last day. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
oh, that's not good.
Yeah, I remember seeing these numbers and I'm like, man, this is easy. Like these are really light numbers, and boy, they don't feel light when you're when you're on the third day of outdoor competition, and it was like I don't know, like I think it was 3 or 4 events every day. I forget what it was. It must have been 3.
I don't
Had to
remember.
be 3. But it was that was the end of it, and those light weights did not feel light at the end of it anymore. And speaking of that, 3-day competition. There's no you've done that before, I guess, right? Or was it
stone competition was 3
that was
days.
3 days? Okay.
Yeah.
So then how do you feel about these kind of prolonged competitions like that where you have to go to bed, get up, and be ready again the next day?
So most of the pro shows that I've done, American shows and stuff, have been multi-day shows. So I'm pretty used to doing multi-day shows.
Okay, interesting, cool.
America's just so much tougher than us, apparently.
That's what
Yeah.
Gas station ready. You know?
Western Winston's gonna have something to say about that. Too, right now. Okay, so you're not feeling particularly rattled about the idea of having to do multiple days.
No, actually, depending on like how hard it is and stuff like that, I would prefer to split it up into multiple days.
Right.
I'm in pretty good shape right now, but honestly, I was sweating doing this show here because they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna run 6 events in 4 hours," and I was like,
Dude, it was clipping.
That's
that show.
a lot.
Yeah. This show is known for that because they have a window, and if they go outside of that window, they lose people because there's other things that are happening. Right? It's part of a big Icelandic festival here. So, and Devin is like mental about keeping things inside that window, so he does it. And it was I was watching you guys and I was like, man, these guys are moving at a pace here, because 6 events, I don't know if people realize that like most shows are, a lot of shows we'll say are 5. That one more event is a lot, man. It doesn't seem like it'd be a whole lot more, but when you go from a 6 event, when you finish 3 events and you're like, god damn, we're halfway done, that's like a very crushing feeling sometimes.
Yeah, whenever deadlift's like 3rd event, your back is just trash, and you're like, man, I got 3 more. I got to do a yoke right after this.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it can be a, like, that's where the mental aspect really comes into play, is that you can be physically strong, but you got to be there to compete when you have that extra event, or when it's multiple days or whatever.
And you can't give Devin a timeline because he's weird about timelines.
Yeah, he'll make it happen.
Yeah, he'll make it happen. He'll cut off entire entire sections just to be able to make it fit.
You will lose your break.
To
keep things going.
We watched the Arnold's amateur show together, and then he just looks around and he goes, I run a way tighter show than this. And I was like, this is also like 400 athletes probably.
It's a little different, but we did a big one too. So what about this though? What about the cold in Iceland?
That's what I'm sweating the most.
Figuratively speaking, of course.
Yeah. But man, I guess I'm just gonna have to go like buy a big freezer or something to train it.
Some cold
No
acclimation.
idea. Yeah, no idea.
Because you said you're from Louisiana.
Yep.
You're living in Maryland, which is not a particularly cold place. Do you have because Norway, you were there in the summertime. Do you have experience in like cold weather? Like, have you been to a really cold place before?
No, not that cold. I work a lot of ice storms and stuff. So I've worked like -10 in upstate New York, and I've worked I've worked like sub-zero in like the UP of Michigan and stuff like that.
Right. Okay, so you've been to cold places.
So I've been to cold places, wind blowing on the water,
Right.
but I don't think it's gonna be anything like Iceland. So
It's a very different experience there, where like Winnipeg is a very, very cold place. It's like it's known for that. But Iceland is like a different kind of cold, where the temperature isn't as low as it gets here, but it's like very windy and it's wet. Like you just feel a dampness when
just
you're
cuts
there.
you.
Yeah, and like say like the last day when we were there, at least it's at this like Viking village. Fisherman's Village.
Yeah.
And it's called the Fisherman's Village because it's right on the water, and the wind coming off of that water is fucking cold, man.
Oh
and
my
it's
god!
like,
And then between the cabins, it turns into a wind tunnel.
yeah.
So my
It was
friend,
crazy.
my friend Martin, he had to hold on to me because it just kept pushing me over and pushing me over. It was insane.
It's a very different experience there from like I've been in cold climates, but it's just something different about Iceland that's not the same, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see how that goes for you with as a Southern boy to see.
We need him to get one of those lapel mics, and then we can just listen to
Yeah.
how he handles it.
Yeah, how the cold affects his mood.
Like, son of a bitch. Those Canadians were right.
If it's too bad, I'll just start taking plugs.
So, what I want to talk to you a little bit about too is that now that you're kind of getting ready to start this, like, I guess we'd call it the next phase of your career, kind of, which is, you know, an international pro-am like that, very big deal, a lot of eyes on it. It's hosted on Official Strongman, so a lot of people get to see it. So, as people start to become more familiar with Levi Strong, what's something that you can tell newer competitors? What's something that you can tell somebody who wants to get to the Magnus Classic, or somebody who wants to go to America? You know, I'm sure we have American viewers, but who wants to go to the American Strongest Man type show, or whatever it might be? Like, how can they progress the way you're progressing?
Never be afraid to lose,
I like
and
that advice.
always bet on yourself.
That's fantastic advice. I like that, because I think that a lot of people, they could be in the exact position that you're in, which is you work a very demanding job, you got 2 kids, you have a real life, but you're living proof.
Yeah.
That doesn't have to stop you from doing what you want to do.
I remember my first nationals. I went into it kind of blind. I didn't know what to expect. I ended up getting 17th, and I tore my patellar on the second to last event.
Jesus.
And I got 17th, and everybody kind of thought I was done. After that, I quit drinking. And I told my wife, I said, I'm not drinking until I go pro. And everybody thought I was nuts. I was like, no, I can go pro at this show. I was like, you give me a year to train for this, I'll go pro. 8 months rehab, just trying to get my knee right, stuff like that. Only lifted heavy for 4 months, went back and went pro. I went pro the same year Lucas did.
Fuck yeah.
And, yep. So always bet on yourself.
There you go. And that's great advice, man. Is that, you know, I like the undertone of that too, which is that, like, you found something that wasn't working for you. You're like, I got to cut out whatever it might be. If it was drinking in your case, or if it's, I mean, whatever it might be for somebody. There's always, got somebody watching behind us there. There's always some bullshit that should be less of a priority than, you know, in your case, obviously your family, and then but the secondary is competing. Where I think a lot of people, they're willing to just be like, well, I can't do it. You know?
Yeah. And drinking was never like a big thing for me. It was more of like just, I'll drink casually.
Yeah.
And so it's like just taking away that like leisure, kind of punishing myself, you know what I
Sure.
mean?
No, I like it.
And I love winning. I hate training. Alex, your fucking workouts suck to do, dog. They suck. But I fucking love winning. So
we both, I said it earlier, but we both train with Alec Jose, RPE 11. What's your experience been like working with him? Like, what? Because he's a
great coach.
Yeah, he's a fantastic coach. And
I actually was worried about the dumbbell going into it. He gave me some cues on the finger, and then he gave me cues. I asked him for cues on dumbbell just because I haven't touched one in so long, and he gave me a couple cues. I missed the first attempt on dumbbell, and then I instantly went back to what he told me. And if you watch the video back, whenever I cleaned the second rep, I realized my hand was too far away from my head, and I slide the dumbbell down to where my hand is closer to my head and hit it. And just to have a coach that knows technique on different presses that well to just, I can fix it on the fly.
Yeah.
Huge game changer. Dude's fixed my log dip. I've been working on log for years, and he fixed it within like 2 sessions.
Yeah, mine's really. Before I say anything, don't fucking hire him if you're a Canadian pro, please. Fuck it. Like, that's enough. It's enough, guys. I've signed up.
Or
with
American pro.
Yeah, there you go. Just leave him alone.
Nobody else hire him.
Yeah, leave him the fuck alone. Let him starve. All right. Like, we're trying to be the best strongman we can be here and get an edge. God damn it. Signed up for him, and like 4 guys from Canada signed up for him right afterwards. But it was that was my experience too, because I had him for the first time. That was like the first time since I was like a brand new beginner, because I had the guy who got me into strongman helping me my first few shows. But it was the first time that I actually had a coach there. Like, I've had coaches for a while who give me my program and they help me and they give me feedback on videos and things like that, but not a coach in the true sense that like an athletic coach who is there on game day.
Yes, that means a lot to me, actually.
Yeah, because he's been there for some of your shows, I'm sure.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. And it was a really eye-opening experience where, like, I know a lot about strongman. I've done it for a long time, but I haven't done it at the level that he's coached guys at. You know what I mean? I haven't done it with as many people as he's done it, where he was giving me tips and advice and shit where I was like, God damn, like, this is absolute gold. Like, it was really, really helpful. Like,
yeah, he's awesome. And especially on like bad events, like he'll be right there just talking you through it. And even if you don't do as well as you wanted to, he's got the game plan ready for the next event.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was so I bombed the log at North Americans, and we were already thinking about the Conan's Wheel before I even really sat down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was, and there's something to be said too that I liked about his coaching style, which is this. We're gonna stop glazing Alec right away, but I just want to say this here. But there's something to be said too for, all right, here's the information that I want you to have for this event, which he's good at for that too. But he's also good for like, turn it the fuck on. Like, get fucking going here. Let's turn this up a little bit. Which is also, you know, if you've played football or played hockey or whatever, like, your coach is there to give you information and give you the X's and O's of it. But he also needs to be there just to give you a kick in the ass.
That's right.
Too,
That's right. Yeah, and people need to be able to take that too.
Absolutely, yeah. That's the thing too, is I think that everybody wants to have, you know, that like Bobby Knight coach. Everyone wants to have that guy or that Tom Landry or whatever, like that legendary epic coach. Well, guess what? Those guys didn't always tell you what you wanted to hear every moment of the day, right? So I can definitely appreciate that.
He calls me a fucking idiot, and he doesn't even coach me. So,
but he also compliments your dip and drive.
That's very true.
Yeah, so.
And he says, I have better dip and drive than Jeffers. So
that's just objective.
That means a lot to me.
Everybody in this room has a better dip and drive than Jeffers. So what we got there for time, Jan?
41.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So as we start to wrap up here, Levi
wait, I
Strong.
have a question. Sorry. Do you think we have accents?
I can hear your accent. Yeah.
We don't have accents. He has an accent.
No, he has an accent.
Yeah, that was a trick question.
See, that's
okay, every time I'm around an American, I make sure I don't say A as much as I do.
So I did or do like pro wrestling. So we had a lot of Southern guys that would come up too. And they'd be like, I'd be like, what does my accent sound like? And they would just do a British accent. And I was like, that's not what that sound like.
They sound like laws.
We'd sound like effeminate British men to them. And I was like, that's not fucking nice. But anyway, as we start to wrap up here, you're not a huge social media guy, but we're gonna change that right now. We're gonna start pushing your social media, and we're gonna get some people, at least some Canadian guys, to start following you. So what's your Instagram, Levi?
At Levi Strong.
Come on, how could it be any simpler
Beautiful.
than that? Yeah. And this we're saying this right now. Levi is going to start posting stuff on Instagram.
I will be better about posting stuff.
You'll be better about posting stuff on Instagram. Have you posted yet that you won the Magnus?
Not yet, but I will.
Okay, I messaged him today, and I said, hey, I'm off work at this time. Let's record it this time. He just hasn't even opened it yet. Yeah. So I messaged Becca. And
Thank goodness that Becca's here.
Yeah.
Let's start with that. Let's start with a post about the fact that you just won a really important show that's going to bring you on to another really important show. And that'll be the first stepping stone in Levi Strong's Instagram journey. Thanks a lot for joining me, man. I really, really do appreciate it. It was so nice to get to know you and Becca and your kids. And that's the beautiful thing about Strongman, right, is that when else would we have met this lovely family from Maryland if not for this wild sport that we do?
Yeah, and we really just want to say thank you for you and you guys just opening your doors to us, and
oh man, we're happy to do it.
Really show us around and having a good time.
Yeah.
My kids love you. You're a cousin now. So.
It's a Filipino thing that once you're friends with someone, you're related to them. So there you go. That's...
Well, this morning I was like, I don't want them to go home.
I think we'll probably have to make a trip to Maryland at some point. But there we go. It was super nice to get to know you and your family. Really appreciate this. Congratulations on your victory. We're super excited to see you compete in Iceland, and I'm sure have a hell of a performance there.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Follow Levi Strong on Instagram. This will be out
whenever Denzel gets to it.
After provincials, though, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so hey, man, after provincials, our competitive season is done here in Manitoba, but we do have Deadlift for Dreams coming up, which is on September 13th at Training Grounds Gym. If you haven't donated somebody yet, just find someone and donate. It all goes to the same place. It helps families right here in Manitoba who are dealing with illness and things like that, and it just makes things a whole lot easier for them and a whole lot more comfortable.
But donate to me, though, because the link is already in my bio, so it's already very easy for you.
I haven't gotten any donations yet because I haven't posted.
He doesn't even have the link, so the link is in my bio.
Anyway,
be better about posting on Instagram.
I gotta do it. I gotta take my own damn advice here. But donate to somebody, and if you do or don't donate, come down to the competition, come cheer people on. Thrones is looking for a 900-pound deadlift there. I don't know if he's made that public yet, but boom, there it is. That's what he's going to be trying for. And I think that there's a pretty good chance that he could actually get that, which is pretty wild. That would be the first time that's done in Manitoba in quite some time. And we're looking forward to it. We have a bunch of our athletes who are going to be competing at nationals. So we're looking forward to getting out there for that. And That's almost the year, I think.
Pretty much.
That's fucking wild. Thanks again to our guest, Levi Strong, and we'll see you guys whenever we see you.
Nice. Good job, guys.